Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm here with another case study and another question. Today we're looking at a fascinating psychology experiment. Does the genre of music you listen to actually change your mood and your performance? So we wanted to see the effect of music on the mood and performance of a data set. But before starting, I want to clarify something. And this is that this data set is a simulation of an actual project that was done by one of my clients. So we're not using any real information here. But the variables, concept, statistical methods, techniques, and everything are the same. So now let's get started. Here's what the researchers did in this study. Participants were randomly assigned to one of these three conditions. They listened to classical music, pop music, or silence, while they're solving a series of logic puzzles. And before starting the task, everyone rated their mood, that's the pre-task mood, and then they solved a set of logic puzzles. Afterward, they rated their mood again. This is called the post-task mood. And we also recorded their performance, which was measured by how many puzzles they got correct. So now that we're good with the setup, let's break down what this study aimed at. The study had two main questions. First, does music affect how you feel after working? We measured mood before and after the task. So if someone started the task in a good mood, that might influence how they felt afterward. We wanted to see if the type of music still made a difference once we took their starting mood into account. And the second question is that, does music affect how well you perform on a task? So we looked at how many puzzles people solved correctly. Did classical, pop, or silence lead to better scores or not? In a simple term, we wanted to see if music changes your mood, your performance, or both. But why we use these two methods, not using another analysis instead of ANOVA and ANCOVA? We use ANOVA because it will tell us if there is an overall difference in performance between the genres. And we use ANCOVA for mood because it takes the analysis a step further. It adjusts for pre-music mood scores, which gives us a clearer picture of how music itself influences the change. So by comparing the two results, we can see whether controlling for the starting mood changes the conclusions we draw or not. Before jumping into the analysis in SPSS, here is something else I want to mention. You might also wonder why not just use a multiple ANCOVA, where we can test both mood and performance together at the same time. Well, that's a great question. I would say multiple ANCOVA or MANCOVA works best when your outcomes are related and measured in a similar way. In our case, post-task mood and puzzles accuracy were totally different. One is a subjective rating, and the other one, the puzzle accuracy, is a count of correct answers. And also, these two variables weren't strongly correlated. So combining them would actually make the analysis messier and violate some assumptions. I hope you got it. If you're good, we can move on to the next level and see the analysis and how to run the tests in SPSS. You can see here is the data set that we have. Here are the variables. Group, which shows the music genre, and it's a nominal variable with 3 categories. Each category were assigned a number from 1, 2, and 3. Pre-mood and post-mood scores, which are numerical rating scales from 1 to 100. And task score, which shows the number of correct answers to the puzzles. So now let's do the analysis. To test the first objective, which is the ANCOVA, go to Analyze, General Linear Model, Univariate. A window pops up. Then put post mood variable into dependent variable box. Put group variable into fixed factors box. And finally put pre-mood variable into covariates box. Then click EM means. Now in this window, move group into display means for box. Then tick compare mean effects. And from then choose Bonferroni and continue. Then click on options, tick parameter estimates to get the parameter estimates table. Tick descriptive statistics and homogeneity test if you want them. I don't do this here. Then continue and then click on OK. So you see we got the output here, but let's do the rest of the analysis first and then we will get back to it to interpret the results. So now go ahead to do the second analysis, which is a one-way ANOVA. And we do this from this path. Go to Analyze, Compare Means, One-Way ANOVA. And in the pop-up window, place task score into dependent list box and group into factor box. Then click post hoc. Now tick Tukey and Bonferroni and leave the significance level at 5% or 0.05. Then continue and then OK. Now that we're done with the test, let's see the results and interpret them. First table is between subject factors. It gives us the number of participants for each genre. The second table is the tests of between subject effects. Remember, the covariate here is the pre-mood variable. And you see the p-value for it is 0.025, which is less than 0.05. So we reject the null hypothesis. This means that the pre-task mood significantly predicts post-task mood. So the higher your starting mood is, the higher your ending mood tends to be. Move on to the next table, which is parameter estimates. You see the parameter estimate for pre-mood here is 0.601. It means that for every 1 point higher pre-task mood, post-task mood is predicted to be 0.6 points higher. And for group effects, the p-values are also 0, which are less than 0.05. And this is very strong. Shows that even after accounting for baseline mood, music genre still significantly affects post-task mood. The next table, estimated marginal means for the three groups are shown here. You see the classical music has the highest amount of mean post-mood. You can see more details of comparison in the pairwise comparisons table here. And it shows that listening to classical music after the task led to the highest adjusted mood scores. Also, pop music improved mood compared to silence, but not as much as classical music. And finally, silence left mood lowest. You see the univariate test table confirms this result by its p-value being statistically significant. So up until now, we found out that pre-mood score had an influence on the post-mood score. And also the different types of music or different genres of music had different effects on post-mood score. Classical music has the best effect. For the rest of the analysis, I mean seeing the effect of different music genres on the performance, we're going to see the results of one-way ANOVA test. So the first table is ANOVA results. And you see we tested whether music genre influenced logic puzzle accuracy. No covariate here, just group comparisons. And you see the p-value for the test is 0.027, which is less than 0.05. So we reject the null hypothesis, meaning that the differences in mean accuracy between the three music groups are statistically significant. And let's see how different they are in the next table. For both tests, Tukey and Benferroni, you see, for classical vs pop comparison, they have p-values of 0.022 and 0.026 respectively, which means that classical group scored significantly higher than pop in accuracy of solving the puzzles. And for classical against silence, the result is not significant, but the trend is toward higher. And finally, for the pop against silence, it is not significant at all. So from this table, we can say that classical music appears to boost task performance compared to pop and silence. Here's something you should notice, and it is that the effect here is weaker than for mood, because we have a smaller f and the p-value amount is just below 0.05, not very far from it. So the evidence for music's effect on accuracy is modest compared to the mood. And we would say overall story from these outputs is that mood has a strong, clear benefit from music, especially classical, even after adjusting for baseline mood. Also, pop helps somewhat, but silence is the least effective one. For performance also, there is some evidence that classical improves accuracy over pop, but no clear difference compared to silence. So, to wrap it up, our little case study shows that music, especially classical music, can really help boost mood and maybe even give a small edge in performance. And pop music also helped too, but silence didn't do much for mood at all. Of course, this was just a classroom project with a small data set, but it's a great example of how tools like ANCOVA and ANOVA can help us answer real-world questions. So if you found this video interesting, check out the full project on my GitHub. It's provided in the bio. In the next videos, we'll go deeper into what ANCOVA really is, how it compares to ANOVA, and when you should actually use either of them in your own research. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, give it a like. Subscribe for more stats tutorial and case studies. And let me know in the comments what kind of questions you'd like to analyze with real data. See you in the next one.